What's up, y'all? It's your boy. So we're back again, and in today's video I'll be talking about the positive things about being bagged as well as the negative things. We're going to be starting off with a negative thing. So this is kind of as soon as you get into the car. Right now I'm sitting on it fully aired out, so this is the first thing that you're going to see or hear as soon as you start your car. Give it a sec, you'll hear it. You can't hear it right now because the car is so loud. But if you give it a sec, what I'm talking about is the compressors are so loud in this car. I don't know if you guys can hear them. I can start hearing them. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but yeah, so you can hear them now that it's getting warmer. I haven't started the car in about a week, so that's probably why it's so, but you can hear it now. So this is probably one of the negatives. I know it's nothing huge because it does go away after a while, but as you can see, it takes a bit. I think it's maybe like a minute of this. So you know, if you have people in the car, which I can only have one, but if I do have somebody in the car and I start it, besides it being super loud, you can hear that, and that's even more loud. So now you have two things that are super loud. But besides that, at least inside the car, there's no other really big negative. Driving wise though, there is a negative. I'll go ahead and talk about that, but let me turn off the car. You can hear the compressor really loud, but that's how it sounds like if I just like turn the key but not turn on the car. So that's probably one of the biggest negatives, I think, about having a bagged car. On to the second negative. Well, you can't, it's not really something right now, but as I mentioned before, the car is fully aired out right now, and I didn't really go into it that much in the last video, but the front is tucking really well, and the rear, well, it isn't. And this is specifically for my car. The negative is, so the negative with my car being bagged is that since this is a solid rear axle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't really camber the rear end. So the fronts do camber, but the rears stay as straight as, you know, as they're forced to be. So in these cars, you're not really able to to camber it. So if you look at it here, it's really straight, at least compared to other cars, because both my friend that has the bagged Camaro and my other friend that has the bagged 350Z, both of their back ends are cambered when they air out completely. So I'm not able to do that. So the negative for me is that I can't camber the rear end, so that I can't tuck with these wide of tires. So that means I have to try skinnier tires to see if they're able to do that. And that's basically it, or that's basically the only stuff I can think of right now with the negatives of this kind of setup. But as for the positives, there's a lot of positives for this one. Of course, is the looks. I absolutely love how this looks bagged. That's why I always leave it aired out at my house. So the major one is looks, of course. Second to that is probably that it's actually like functionable. So what I mean by that is just going up my driveway here. Like, I'll show you. My driveway isn't super steep, but it does come up a bit. So with the old setup, see, so this is how it goes up. So it's not super steep, but I would scrape before with the springs if I didn't come in sideways, and now I don't. So being able to lift up your car and drop it whenever you want is super dope. So yeah, that's the second positive I can think of. The third one is being able to do it so easily, I guess. Being able to change your ride height even while you're driving, because let me tell you about the ride quality. So the ride quality now compared to when I had the iBox Sport lines with the Koni shocks and struts, the Konis, they're really stiff, honestly. If I'm being completely honest, my setup with the Konis and the iBox Sport lines were super stiff. This car would literally bounce, and like it would turn from left to right depending if I hit a pothole or if the road was super uneven, which where I live sadly they're super bad. But with the bags now, it actually rides super smooth, or at least compared to before. I've never driven one of these. Actually, I've never had mine on stock suspension, at least, so I don't know how that feels. But this setup feels like, without exaggerating, maybe at least like 5 times better than the old one did. 5 to 10 times better, because now on the freeway it doesn't hop. It doesn't have as much wheel hop as before, so that's super dope. But if you're on the fence and you have the money to back your car, I'd say go for it. If you don't break the bank. Don't do it. I just say go with coilovers, but coilovers are also super stiff, so it all depends on your build plan. If you're gonna have a daily driver, which I don't, but I still did it anyways. So another positive I thought of was how much trunk space you still have even with this setup. It's almost like it doesn't even take up any space. I don't know if I ever showed you guys my trunk with the tank inside, but this is my setup right now. I have the airlift tank in here, my seat delete's right there, and here I'll show you guys my compressors. So you can see I don't know if you can see the tubes in there, but I have both Air compressors down here with all the wiring and everything. So everything's hidden under here where my spare used to be. So the positive with this is you don't really lose any trunk space when you do the setup, or if you do it like this at least. Some people put the tank up there, some people put it where I have it, or they put it a little further back. But that's basically it for positives and negatives. There's not that much else. Speed bumps goes along with ride height and ride quality, just because I have a setup right now. Here, I'll air up the car so you guys can see. I'll put the camera, I actually put the camera over here, but I'll show you guys how easy it is, or how long it even takes for my car to air up and air out. So, as you can see right now, or as you saw, this is my ride height. It's super high up, it's super high up. It's like, you might notice how loud this is right now, but with the controller, it's my first setup right here, so I do have the V2 version. It's not focusing on it, but with this button I air up, and I'll show you guys from outside the car when it's airing out. So this is what I have it at. I have it around 50 all the time. It'll occasionally drop to 48 or 50, or rise up to 52 depending on the pressure on the car. So right now, since it's just sitting, but you can see I still have a good amount of gap on both ends, especially on the front, because right now the way the setup is, it's made so that it's flat instead of like so without the car being like that. I forgot the word for it, but so that's how it is right now. And I'm going to air out the car, and let me show you guys how it looks like. So this is how it is when you air out. I press it one time and it'll go down to 0. it'll focus. Well, it goes down to 0, and then you press it once, and then you hold it. So that's basically it for this video. If you liked what I covered, drop a like and leave a comment if you have any questions about bags or how I feel about having my car bagged or anything related to bags or even just about the car in general. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. I made a new Instagram for the YouTube account. My Instagram is the same thing as it was before, ssinative, so the same name as the channel. Go ahead and check that out. I'll be posting updates to what I'll be making videos on before I make them. So if you guys want to find out before I do, go ahead and find out there. And look at that beast boy. But yeah, that's basically it for today. Drop a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next one.